recording in progress, to set you up with other folks on campus, like our financial aid office. We've got a lot of people that can help you through this. So don't feel like if you missed something or didn't learn something, like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Like, there's always help. We will happily answer more questions. You can always set up one-on-one meetings with our admissions crew. We can get you with financial aid. But the biggest thing is, I promise you, this is a little easier than maybe what you're fearing. So we'll start by just kind of talking a little bit about just the general college thing. So the value and the reason of college. Like, why do you go to college? You go to college to invest in yourself. And specifically, we think you come to UCCS to invest in yourself, because we know, when we believe, that we're a really good option for you. We think we're a great option for you, to be honest with you. And so we want you to know that we're going to put you in an environment that's built for you to succeed. And that's a partnership that we will be there and support with you along the way as you're going and achieving those dreams and getting those majors and kind of getting those jobs and internships and all of that. There's so much that goes into it. But we know it's hard. You know, it's meant to be hard. College is meant to be hard. So you kind of see our little agenda here. And our goal is to kind of go through these items here and to kind of make these concepts that may seem hard right now feel a little easier. I think just in general, a good thing to know is 70% of our UCCS students receive some form of financial aid, whether that's loans, grants, scholarship, merit dollars, work study. So there's a lot that we offer students, and really try to help as many people as we can. We know the value of supporting that has greater impacts on your life. And I'll kind of end with some of those value things here in a few minutes. But know that there's the various elements of cost, tuition, and the things you're paying to UCCS can be done with loans, grants, work study, merit money, and then money that you put in on your own. So I kind of talked about, is UCCS worth it? Well, I hope at the end of the day, or at the end of this session, you feel like, yeah, UCCS is worth it. And more importantly, you know, you're worth it. And that's something that, you know, you've got to fully believe, because this is a big commitment that you're about to make. So we're just going to start with just the value of a college degree and just the very simple chart. And you've probably heard this before, but we've proven this with the University of Colorado system and our affordability website. You can go to that website and see some more detailed facts and things like that. But that stat right there, and you see the blue line versus the gold line, and that kind of speaks for itself. Gold line's higher, blue line's lower, and the dollar amounts go up. You're investing in yourself and putting that money into yourself. Our previous chancellor, Pam Shockley, I had this really kind of fun metaphor that she's like, you know, college is not a car. College is an investment in yourself. When you drive that car off the lot, it depreciates in value. You're constantly adding and changing tires and putting oil into something that ages and eventually needs to be replaced. Your education is never replaced. You are never replaced. And so you are investing in yourself for a future of a really strong gold bar, is probably the best way of thinking about that. You kind of see there, longer lifetime or greater lifetime earnings, lower unemployment, better health and wellness, all those things that really matter, even more so in this day and age than probably they did 10 or 20 years ago, to be honest with you. We didn't care about mental health nearly as much as we do today, which is a very good thing. When you look at what's it going to cost for me to attend UCCS, this is the Colorado resident estimate right there. You can go to that link, and we'll follow up with all these links and things like that in an email post this webinar. But you can see tuition and fees. This is based on 15 credit hours a semester, 30 credit hours for the entire year, about $11,000, okay? Your residence life is built on your specific room type. And if you are not from the El Paso County region, you are required to live on campus. There are some exemptions that you can get if you are trying to like live with family, or you've got a certain situation that kind of needs you to live off campus. Work with housing on that. El Paso County residents, you are welcome to live on campus. Want to make that really clear. You're not allowed to live here. You are very much welcome to live here. But that range that you see, that 10,998 to just a shade under 15,000, is the full cost of living on campus. So that's your bedroom, your meal plan, parking on campus, and a lot of other like small expenses that you would pay in an apartment or living off campus. So that's why there's a range, and that range is really built on how much privacy do you want. If you've toured campus before, you've kind of seen our suite style housing setup, where no matter which style you choose, there's always a bathroom in the suite to you and your roommates. But the more privacy and the larger space you want is where the dollars start to increase. And that max 14,978 would be your own private room, in one of like the newer buildings and things like that. I think most students can say between 12,000 to 13,000 is probably the average that we see students spending on that. But again, that does include your all-you-can-eat meal plan. That includes laundry. You don't have to pay for laundry. We don't wash it for you, but the machines don't require quarters. That includes parking on campus and a lot of other small, utilities, internet, and TV and things like that. That's all rolled up into that residence life range right there, which then brings you to that total estimated dollar of anywhere from 22 to 26,000 for the year. That does not include books, and books is something that dramatically in the last few years, and that's really independent to each and every one of you based on your major and just where, how much it requires of you. Some majors have very few books, some majors have a ton. And so that's a very independent expense that we don't even like to put in here, but that you will kind of figure out as you go through the process. Financial aid will budget a larger dollar amount than what you see in the estimated total. They will put together what's called a cost of attendance. And that cost of attendance is meant to give you a larger idea of what you could spend while you're in college. So mainly it's factoring in your personal expenses. It's saying you're going to eat at Chipotle probably once or twice a week. You're going to buy some new clothes. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're going to drive home. You're going to need gas money, things like that. So they're going to give you a budget just to plan for personal expenses as well. But that estimated total is a really good range. If you don't take 15 credit hours, that number is going to go down. You take more than 15, that number is going to go up slightly. These numbers also factor in the College Opportunity Fund. And some of you may not have signed up for your College Opportunity Fund yet, and that's fine. There's no deadline for that. You can do that when you come to UCCS for class registration. So that is a brief breakdown of what the college, like the big cost that you would essentially pay to UCCS will be. And again, students living outside of El Paso County are required to live on campus. The housing application opened today. If you know you're coming and just want to get a jump on that, it is first come, first serve with room selection and building choice and things like that. You can go ahead and go onto their website, use your UCCS login credentials, and sign up for housing today if you want. I'm going to pause here, let you look at that for a second and make sure that my mouse goes to the next slide. As I mentioned, December 1st, we were at the key dates part of our cycle. So you can submit your FAFSA now, and I really encourage every single one of you to get your FAFSA to us. We will never take merit or need-based aid away from you, or I'm sorry, merit aid or anything you have earned through our competitive scholarship application because you don't need it. We just want to make sure you know all of the options available to finance college. And so please do submit a FAFSA, even if you think, well, we make too much money, we're not going to get anything. Could be very true. But FAFSA almost gives you some assurance that should something happen in a negative way, that you've got that stuff to us for us to be able to help you with emergency situations that you just couldn't account for at the time of doing the FAFSA. Years ago, my example of that was Hewlett-Packard used to be a major player here in Colorado Springs. And one spring, they just packed up and moved down to New Mexico. And a lot of people lost some very good paying jobs. And a lot of those people didn't submit FAFSAs. We tried to help them as best we could have helped them more if we had some federal support. Now my new example is no one planned for a global pandemic. And that really changed a lot of financial situations for a lot of people. So we really encourage you, get that FAFSA to us. It just gives you more options and knowing what's out there for you. December 1st, today, it's always weird when we hit a new part of the month because it just goes by super fast. But December 1st, the UCCS scholarship application is available for all admits to go in and start applying for competitive-based awards. So I'll rattle off a few of those here in a second. But you can go into your My UCCS portal. You can go into that scholarship application. And I mentioned too, housing application is open as well today. If you want to do that, there's no deadline for the housing application, but they do kind of say March 15th, they can basically assure you your first choice of room. But today is the day that scholarship applications are open. Now you'll notice as you go in there and look around, there are going to be 2 different days that have deadlines, February 1st and March 1st. The way I like to kind of break those 2 up is February 1st seem to be more of the big dollar amount items. So like 4-year awards that could be potentially full ride awards and things like that. The big ones, you don't want to miss out. And February 1st sneaks up on you really quick because you think about you're moving into finals pretty soon, semesters ending, holidays are hitting, travel all over the place, then boom, you're right back to the start of your second semester of your senior year or of your second semester of finishing up your transfer work before moving on. And February 1st just comes up really quick. So get in there now, go in, check out, plan ahead, see what you need to be putting together. You know, now is the time if you haven't already been asking for letters of recommendation and things like that. Don't wait till the middle of January to ask for letters of recommendation. Your teachers are going to be bombarded with people that are going to want those things. Get ahead, be the first one in line. Then you see that March 1st day there. March 1st is really where a lot of things kind of end. Awards that go beyond March 1st are usually reserved for transfer students. You'll see those outlined in the scholarship application when you go in there. But March 1st is really when it all kind of, okay, we're shutting it down so we can start making the decisions to let you know later on in March what you are also awarded. And that's the competitive stuff. I, on a weekly basis, are always doing the Chancellor's Award. So maybe a lot of you have already been awarded the Chancellor's Award. And if some of you haven't, I might not have gotten to you yet. Your data might have just come into me to review. If you've not seen a Chancellor's Award, sit tight, but reach out to us. If you're like, well, I've been admitted for a few weeks and I haven't seen anything yet. I'd like to know that. I have a criteria for awarding that automatically. My first criteria is if you have a 3.5 GPA or above, I award it. No questions asked, no GPA or no test score needed. If you don't have a 3.5, but let's say you have a 3.0 to a 3.4999999, then I require a test score. And that test score needs to be at least a 22 on the ACT or a 1080 on the SAT. If you have that, but you didn't submit that score, then please send that in, and then you'll pull up in my next pull, and I can get that money to you. If you've never taken the ACT or the SAT, then we have an alternate review process that we will be sending to students that don't meet that automatic criteria in the next week or so. We're just cleaning up that file and getting it out here probably in another week or so. So there is an alternate option where you just give us a little bit more information for an objective reviewer to look at the rigor that you've done in class. So dual enrollment, involvement, IB, AP, clubs, things like that. That's what you put in that simple form. It's a very easy thing. Honestly, it'll take you 5 minutes should we send that to you. But if you know, like, hey, I meet the automatic criteria, well, if you hit the GPA mark, don't worry, I'll get you taken care of. If you meet the GPA mark, but you didn't send us your test scores, get those test scores sent to us, please, and then you'll be in my future pull. I don't stop awarding those things, the Chancellor's Award, until honestly, like end of July. So if you're still working on your GPA is not at that rate yet, just keep going, finish strong. I'll catch you in May. You can always contact us about that too. But we don't really end that because, you know, the big thing is I want to give you money. That's kind of the fun part of this gig is like, I want to give you this money. So let's give you every chance in the world to get that money. You'll see the May 1st scholarship application deadline for transfer students. Another part that's kind of not on here is that we don't have a binding commitment. We have a lot of notification to let us know your plans, but there is no binding commitment or decision day with UCCS. So you can work with us comfortably knowing, like, I'm never going to send you something saying, tell me you're coming or else. I don't like that, and we don't do that. So feel confident that you're working with someone that really just wants to work with you. The FAFSA, mentioned this earlier. You can see on that studentaid.gov site to submit your FAFSA to us. There's our FAFSA code right there. March 1st would be the day to get this to us for the most potential opportunities for financial aid at the federal level. This can also help with work study and things like that. Work study can help you get a job on campus, but we also have student employment as well, which is just student hourly work. We have 1,800 to 2,000 students that work on campus. So that you can also get a job without showing financial need for getting a job. So please do submit the FAFSA. It really can make a big difference. And it's just in case. Sorry, I need to drink water. Get us your FAFSA. I mentioned earlier just a few things, highlighting just a couple of our more prominent scholarships and awards. I mentioned the Chancellor's Award right there, $10,000 over 4 years, $2,500 a year. That's where that will come in. You can see the Reach Your Peak Scholarship, $4,000 a year for 4 years. It's a pretty nice chunk when you start thinking about, okay, so it's like $23,000, $24,000 a year, 2,500 plus maybe 4,000 plus maybe this or that. Like, you can start getting that number down pretty quickly, and that's even before you talk about loans or grants. You see the Reicher Transfer Scholarship right there. You see the Chancellor's Leadership Class. The Chancellor's Leadership Class is our highest level of leadership development on campus. That's $4,000 a year. These are just a small smattering. You'll see more and more in your portal when you go in the scholarship application. And you'll also apply for scholarships every year that you're a UCCS student. It's not just a one and done thing for us. You will do this process every year because we have more current students than we do new students coming in. And when you're a current student, you can tap into money in your program, in your college, something related to National Science Foundation, things like that. So you'll do this every year. So if you don't get something the first year, the thing you were kind of hoping for, there will be other opportunities as you continue on your trajectory of being a UCCS student. If you have not claimed your account, claiming your account is the most important thing to do right now because that is your access to the scholarship application. So you would go get your admit letter, your admit email, and then go onto our OIT website and claim your account, create your password, do all that good stuff. That will get you into your MyUCCS portal. And your MyUCCS portal will grow with information as you progress through things with UCCS and eventually enrollment. You do all the business practices of the university in your MyUCCS portal. So it'll grow and information will change and we'll add more and more as the months go by. So get that account claimed. I mentioned earlier, the first question was, is UCCS worth it? And on that affordability website that, again, we'll send you, the CU system did a deep dive in really what are the benefits of an education, of a UCCS education, of a CU degree. And these 5 highlighted things were statistically proven. You are more fit, you are more well, there's health-related impacts on getting a degree. Economic, obviously the earnings are there, the potential development of yourself professionally is always there. The upward mobility of owning your own home, the civic and the social responsibilities. And I think it's really interesting that you see voter registration and general happiness related to that. Getting a degree is one thing, but it's really what you do for yourself along the way, the people you surround yourself with, the opportunities that you just find having a degree gives you. And I obviously drink the Kool-Aid. I have been with UCCS for 18 years. I think this place is fantastic. I have been in higher ed doing this admission stuff for 22 years. I am old. I just realized that. This is gonna be an existential crisis, and my midlife crisis is starting now. So I firmly believe what education does for you. It's not about the job at the end of the day. It's really about what you feel you can accomplish. It's the confidence that you're putting in yourself. It's all the skills that you're learning, what you're good at, what you're not good at, what you want to be good at, what you want life to look like for yourself. And we very much know that the more education you have, the more doors open for you. So I am a big believer. It probably goes without saying, but I just really believe in the power of higher education and this place. This place is not a finished product. And I think it's a place that you will find is a wonderful playground to do more than you probably realized in college. So I am gonna stop with all my little comments and bad jokes and just look at some of the chat stuff and see if there's any highlighted things that I can cover real quick. Opening that up right now. I know you've gotten a few responses.
Chris, could you go back to the key dates slide, please?
Absolutely.
All right, so we've had some questions related to your FAFSA because some, obviously that opened up for people to start filling out and submitting October 1st. And I know that some of you already did that. You should have gotten a letter from financial aid, or will soon be getting a letter from financial aid, just simply letting you know that they've received your FAFSA. They have not started sending that letter out yet, but that should be coming to you pretty soon.
While I'm just looking through some of these, there's kind of my personal appeal. So when I was before I went to college, my parents were not in a financial situation that they could help. And to be totally honest, it was my choice to go to college. So I took out the loans. I got any grant I could, which wasn't much. I had work study. I worked in college. But mine was basically financed through loans because that was my financial situation. And so I took out loans for both my undergrad and my graduate degree. And I'm like $6,000 away from finishing that off. And so I'm pretty excited to do that. But I don't want you to be afraid of loans. And really, when we offer you loans at the federal level, those are the good loans to take. And what people fear is like, oh, I'm gonna have a loan and I hope I get a good paying job. Well, we kind of just talked about education gives you the confidence that you should get a really strong job and be comfortable paying that back. UCCS has an extremely low loan default rate. When I say really low, I'm talking 4.5%, 4.4% of our students actually default on their loan. That is well below the public four-year average, which is like 7+%. It's well below the Colorado average, which is 9.7%, and well below the national average of 9.4%. So that should hopefully give you some confidence that when we're trying to help you with aid in a variety of ways, like I said, loans are not the only way. Grants, work study, merit awards, scholarships. There's so many things that we try and help you with that it might not just be loans that you're offered. But if you are, take confidence that we have a very low default rate. So just paying attention. We have a few more minutes. Vanessa, did I miss anything that you want me to re-highlight or restate? Looks like y'all cleaned up the Q&A pretty quickly, so that's great.
Yeah, just to reiterate, by claiming your My UCCS portal account, that does not mean you are committing to us. That just allows you, like Chris said earlier, more access to information, including your scholarship application that just opened up today. So you can start working on that. And then on the screen there, you'll see that first deadline for the merit-based scholarships like CLC, the Chancellor's Leadership Class Scholarship, it'll be due on February 1st. And then need-based scholarships, that application is due March 1st. So just that reminder about the portal.
Yeah, and eventually, while not immediate in March, but eventually over the summer, you'll see more FAFSA information populate into your portal as well. Your portal is also what you'll use to accept or decline awards, or grants or loans or things like that. So the portal becomes, more financial aidy as the summer progresses, as you start to do more with us in terms of your enrollment. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you feel a little bit easier or comfortable about our financial aid processes, knowing that we don't have many deadlines, but they are important deadlines. Again, please reach out if you would like to do any one-on-one with us. Our whole crew is always happy to take appointments and take it out of email and get it into a conversation. I can't stress enough to tour, visit us, check this place out. We do tours basically 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Although I think we might be done with Saturday tours for the rest of this semester, but we'll get back on them next semester. But Monday through Friday, various tour opportunities, a lot of ways to keep engaging with us. So never hesitate to reach out. You are never bothering us if you have a question. Like, our job is to help you, and that's why we do it, and we like it. So that's what we do. We're at 6:30. I have to pick up my kid. I'm checking to make sure there's no other Q&A that needs attending to. Mark, I will answer. Oh, Angela's typing. It's Chancellor's Leadership Class A course. It's both. It's a class and a scholarship. So Lisa, the Chancellor's Award does not need to be claimed up until you decided if you're attending UCCS. So it'll never vanish if you wait until June. So you're good there. All right. Thank you to my behind the scenes people that you heard a couple voices from, or one voice from. Really appreciate your time tonight. And thank you all for spending a little time with us and learning this. Again, reach out if we can be of any help. But have a great Friday. Have a great set of holidays coming up. And hopefully we'll see you on campus soon. Thank you.